Hello, Cousin Johnny here. I'd like to shout out to the sponsors of the Buzzin' with Cousin show. Max Fit Meals, 520 Fremont Street, Monterey. Grab and go healthy meals. They're delish. I Heart You Candles and Gifts, 329 Lighthouse in Monterey. Also Tuesday night at Farmers Market, Monterey. That garlic stuff, if you like garlic, you're going to love that garlic stuff. Tuesday at Monterey Farmers Market. And go to thatgarlicstuff.com for more information and more locations. Destination 831, live streaming. Promote yourself, promote your business. Destination 831. Go to Facebook, and Kevin Armstead will take care of you. The Sweet Spot on 9 Delfino Place, Carmel Valley, California. Beautiful spot. Sit out there in the sun. You got olive oil. You've got wine tasting. You got sandwiches, baked goods. The Sweet Spot. 9 Delfino Place, Carmel Valley. Thank you, the sponsors, for helping out. We really appreciate it. Thank you. Hello, Cousin Johnny here. Welcome to Buzzin' with Cousin. We got two great guests here today. We're going to dedicate this show, Good People Doing Good Things. Right here, I have the president and vice president of a great nonprofit organization, Al and Friends, Feeding the Hungry.
Well, thank you for having us.
And that's Al Siebert and Rick Richards.
That's me.
Gentlemen, thank you for coming on.
Thank you, Johnny.
We really appreciate what you guys do in this community, helping people out. That's really great. And so, Al, where'd you grow up and how'd you end up in Monterey?
Oh, my gosh. All right. Well, you know, I started out in Milwaukee, Wisconsin 79 years ago.
Okay.
And we moved out west. I spent 2 years in the hospital getting operated on from the age of 2 and 4. 2 years straight, 101 operations. And we had to move out west for my health. So on the way out, my dad had bought an Army truck in 1947, got out of the military, and he bought an Army truck, canvas covered, and we moved out to Washington State, Tri-City area.
Yeah.
And all along the way, we'd camp out overnight along the road, and we'd meet other people that were moving out west at the time, long before the freeways were in.
Yeah.
And I can remember saying, the parents having conversations about, well, we're going to go here, we're going to stop here tomorrow night, we're going to split off and go this way, we're going to Oregon, we're going to what, all along the way. And, you know, it took several days to drive an old Army truck across those miles. And so they were quite vivid to me. And then later on, I was on my third stepfather, who had been a cowboy in Reno, Nevada, where the airport is today.
Okay.
And he worked for John Natley. And at one point he had 23 people sitting down at his table. And he never had a child of his own. But he was an incredible man. His name was Bill Utlip. And just helping people just seemed to be, you know, something, I don't know, it was just, it's just something I was attuned to.
Yeah.
And I told him one day I want to get me one of them pickups and put utility bed on it. And I want to help people broken down along the road.
Perfect, yeah.
And this is a long time ago. When I got out of the Navy. So we were drilling wells and...
Well, thank you for your service, Al, also.
Pardon me?
Thank you for your service.
Yeah.
for service in the
Yeah,
Navy.
and so later on I got a restaurant when I started helping people when I could, and then later on I ended up at Lake Powell. This is, oh man,
Right.
about 74, shortly after I
Yeah.
closed down the restaurant on the Mountain Woods Highway, which happened to be the restaurant next door to Pavel's mother, who had a restaurant called the Christmas Tree,
Okay.
and I had one called the Sundance Lodge. And so I didn't know Paul, but anyhow. So, oh yeah, so I ended up at Lake Powell, and I was doing search and rescue work on the lake, and they
Yeah.
give me a boat and all the gas I could burn, and you know, for a young man, water skiing 250 days a year. And
Oh yeah.
it was just,
Life is good. Yeah.
it was pretty fun. And my job was to go help people on the lake.
You always had that knack for helping people out, Al.
It was just, well, you know, I've had 3 jobs in my life that
Yeah.
I would do for free if I were an air plant. It was rodeo clown, helping people on Lake Powell, emergency service work, and a barista.
Nice. What a combination.
And you think, what in the hell do those 3 things have in common? It took me a while to figure it out. I'm thinking to myself one night, what in the hell do those jobs do? They all need somebody right now. That cowboy don't need to wait till tomorrow afternoon when you a 3-page shit to get his help right
Yeah.
now. And a person waiting on a cup of coffee,
Perfect.
sure as hell don't really want to be in line.
Yeah.
But somehow I had the knack of being able to look at that 4th or 5th or 6th person in line and let them know, just by looking, that you're going to really like what you get when you get here. You're going to get the same service that this person gets.
That's right.
And you can see I'm doing right.
That's good. Thank you, Al.
And so, now,
Beautiful. Rick, are you local?
I'm local, and I've lived here on the peninsula since about 1969.
Beautiful.
And I didn't know anything really about volunteering until I became an adult, and I wish I would have been more active in learning about these things when I was younger.
Yeah.
The way I got involved with Al and Friends is I was walking across the parking lot at Costco, and a little lady came up to me and said, "Might you have $1 for a bus fare?" And I said, "Sure, I have $1 for
Yeah.
a bus fare." And I gave her a $10 bill, and I said, "I'm looking for some place to volunteer. I'd like to do some volunteer work." And she
Beautiful,
said,
yeah.
"Well, I'll tell you where to go." And so that's how I met Al. And the gal that introduced me to Al, her name is Patricia Bosworth.
Yes,
Al calls her
yes.
Patty Cake. And that's how I found out about you.
I never knew that.
From Patty Cake walking across
Right.
the Costco parking
Wow,
lot
that's-
and telling me, "Follow me, I'll take you." And since then, I've come every single week, and I've been working with Al, and it's been almost 6 years now.
6 years. Great.
And
really great. Yeah.
never missed a Sunday, and
Yeah.
neither is Al.
So Al, how did you create Al and Friends? You just one day you just
it's
sat down and
you
said,
know, I don't understand how it happened. I really don't. I knew that I had to do the paperwork, and so I had a student from CSUMB
yeah,
that was helping me, and I said, "We got to file this paperwork," and so she wrote it out and filed it, and a year later the state and the federal government came through with the tax numbers and
that's really
authority to,
that's great.
you know, and so we've been on forest fires, you know, Napa.
Yeah,
I've been
right.
up there 3 times so far in that Napa and Sonora area on
Santa
forest
Rosa.
fires, and we've taken the big truck
Yeah,
and we've even taken the little car and we've done a pop-up breakfast, you know,
beautiful. Yeah,
and we set up in parking lots
Yeah.
Walmart or Home Depot, one or the other,
Yeah.
and get people that are sleeping in the parking lot from being evacuated. We feed them free meals. And
That's really,
people
that's
in this
fantastic.
community,
Yeah.
you know, the Pine Cone wrote a story about this breakfast about 2016,
Yeah.
maybe more, maybe about 2016 or 2015. And a man called me up from Arizona, and he said, so-and-so, I read your story, how much money you got in the bank? I said, about $19. He said, well, I'm going to fix that. And the next day, there was a check in Overnight Express, $1,500. And it was just shocking to me. And he was born in Carmel, and he
Wow.
had a house in Carmel.
More people doing good things.
And he owned a Lexus dealership in New Mexico. And,
Yeah.
today, he still helps.
Perfect.
Before he sold his house in Carmel, he used to come once a year at Christmas time and
Yeah.
have me hand out envelopes with $20 bills in them and a Christmas card.
Perfect, man. That's
And I would
absolutely.
pass them out to people that needed
Great.
them, and other people that swarmed up calling the fans. I didn't give them any. And he told me, he said, Al, I'm so appreciate that you don't just give them to everybody. I said, well, you know,
Yeah.
well, our goal is to help people in need.
Help people in need.
And we have people that want, and we got people that need. And when someone comes up to me on Sunday morning and they go, hey, have you got a black hoodie? I look at them real close and I go, not your size.
Yeah.
Because if they need a hoodie, they don't care what color it is.
They don't. Right. That's exactly
So
right.
we're not doing this just to get rid of stuff.
Right.
We're doing this
To help.
with a purpose to help cushion the bounce at the bottom of the
Yeah.
fall. You know,
Nice.
Nelson Mandela had a great quotation. He said, we keep pulling people out of the stream. We keep pulling the fish out of the stream, but we need to go upstream and find out where they're falling in.
Oh, that's nice.
And so that's
Beautiful statement.
kind of what we're attempting to do. You know,
Yeah.
I feed people in Salinas along the railroad tracks and take meals over there.
When you see that truck, Al and Friends, you know that's a magical truck.
Absolutely.
Now, Rick, so where do you feed the people? Is it every Sunday? I know it's.
Yeah, we feed everybody. We call it serving, and
Yes.
we call them our guests.
They're guests,
as they
yes.
are, and we do this at Window by the Bay, which is just directly across the street from McDonald's.
Oh, yes, yeah.
On Del Monte Avenue.
By Lake Hillsdale.
Yeah,
Yes.
right by where the kayak rental place is,
Yeah.
right next to there. And for a long time, when I first started volunteering,
Yeah.
we would set up tables and chairs, and we had cooktops. We would bring cooktops down. Al would bring down all the fixings for, say, omelets, and we would prepare the omelets right on the beach. And then everybody had an opportunity to go and sit down at a table and, sit in a chair and eat their meal leisurely. And since COVID, we have not been able to do that just for safety.
Yeah.
So now what we do is we give them their food in cartons and we give it to them in bags,
Okay,
and
so
then they
they-
just go ahead and take it from there.
Okay.
But we're hoping to get back on the
Maybe
beach.
get back down.
Yeah, we're hoping to get back to that, and it's just depending on COVID. And Al keeps talking about it, and I keep talking about it. So hopefully we'll get there.
How many guests do you average feed? Approximately.
It's changed. It's changed since COVID. We don't have as many guests as we had before COVID.
We're running about 75 right now.
Right.
And then we have
Wow. Good.
Then we have 10 more or a dozen more that are transported down to Mountain Valley to some homeless that are down there.
Wow. Nice.
And then to take 5 of them out to the end of the wharf, Wharf 2, where there's a lot of folks,
Yeah.
there's some folks out there. And then Transit Plaza, where 3 or 4 get over there. And so we're probably doing We're doing at least 85 every Sunday
Wow,
night.
every Sunday. That's great. Now, do you have enough volunteers helping you, or you always need volunteers?
The volunteers is an amazing thing. They show up. You know, I've had so many people say to me, "Oh, I'll do this, I'll do that." One lady said to me, "I'm going to bring you a box of bananas every week." I said, "Okay, cool." The next week, she wasn't there. She called me at 10:30. She said, "You're not serving breakfast today, are you?" I said, "Well, it's already over."
Yeah.
Well, I didn't think it served because it was raining.
Rain or shine,
When it was raining, they needed breakfast more.
they need to
So-
breakfast more.
I know it's not again. But I used to introduce people that showed up
Yeah.
as my 2% club. Because 98% of people that say they will don't.
Yeah.
They mean to, but things get in the way, you know.
2% club.
But but it's actually more than 2% now. It's gotten to be a thing where people that it's gotten me closer to 50-50.
Now, are you guys good cooks, chefs, or do you have a crew that? Al,
Here he
you
is, right
You
here.
had the restaurant. There he is.
Well, yeah, you know, we got a nice stove here, and
That's
we
that's
bought.
a heavy duty stove. Is that a Wolf?
So we got this. It's actually interesting thing. It's
That's perfect. What
called
you do.
Cooking Performance.
That's what you call commercial there. Yeah.
And it's a commercial rig that we got online and
Yeah.
menu. And
So if
it's
somebody
worked this for 4 years.
somebody knows somebody that's hungry, then they send them down to the windows on the bay on Sunday. And what time does it start?
8 o'clock.
8
8 a.m. We serve a heavy brunch
Yeah.
at breakfast time because we
Yeah.
really make an effort to get
Now I
nutrition into people.
Now, when I talked to you on the phone, you know, I mentioned something about cans or something. You said no, everything is fresh.
You
So,
know,
yeah,
no-
you don't
cans.
see any canned goods on the
You don't
stove.
see any cans.
No,
Everything is
no.
fresh.
We got 2 freezers.
And I've seen photos, and it looks good.
It's delicious.
It
It really
looks
is.
good.
It really is delicious.
Yeah.
It's very high quality food, and the guests absolutely love it.
Yeah.
And it's and you know that's one of the things that's different than this organization from other organizations is that Al puts in the time, he puts in the care. So each meal is different. If a lot of these, there's other places that offer services similar
Yeah.
to ours, but it's the same thing every week. Al's creativity just really kind of blows people's minds every single week. I mean, it just depends on what we're able to source, but whatever
Yeah.
we're able to source, he turns into magic, and it's
Well,
such
you
a
know,
great
last
thing.
week we did, 2 weeks ago we did meatloaf. Last week we did chicken and rice and bean burritos.
Wow.
This Sunday we're doing calamari steak for Easter.
Calamari
Yeah.
steak.
And-
Beautiful.
Right,
Down
and,
the menu.
and 3 weeks ago, thanks to the grocery warehouse
Yeah.
or grocery outlet, we served fresh Monterey-based salmon stuffed with crab.
Wow.
Yep.
This is first class.
Yeah, that-
Wow, those are beautiful, beautiful
Good.
calamari.
Yep, those are calamari steaks, and that's what we'll be serving on Easter morning.
Hold one up, Al. Hold over this way. Oh yeah. Okay, nice.
You-
This is Easter
I mean, this
Monterey
is-
Bay style.
You guys go first class.
Well,
Let me say, you guys.
You
are
know, it's
first class.
because we don't open cans, because people recognize that we really are making an effort to serve a premium product on point.
Yeah.
So there's some things I don't do. I don't do poached eggs because I can't get them to the beach.
Yeah, we can't. Yeah. By the time you get
You
up
know,
to the beach.
But things that are, you know, I started off doing a country sausage pie,
Yeah.
and it's an interesting story. I used to cook for the Gosby House, and I created this dish called country sausage pie with potatoes and sausage
That sounds good.
and then they said, "Oh, you're using too much meat. We got to get rid of you." Then about 6 months later, Sunset Magazine did a big article on Gosby House, and they used my recipe.
Hey, is there recipe? Wow.
So I thought that was pretty
That
cool.
was great, Al.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
We have a lot of fun. I just don't want to be doing something by rote. When I got my very first restaurant,
Yeah.
I had a complete collection of my cookbooks. And every day, I would pick out one thing that I'd never cooked before as my special. For 21 months. And it might be meatloaf, but it came from 4 different countries.
Yeah.
And so they're all recipes. Every day for 21 months I did that. And it really taught me to appreciate, I burnt stuff before, I fell asleep.
You know what I noticed
I just
too?
go bake something else.
I've seen
And I
some.
grab something.
I've seen some photos of you guys in action, and I see a lot of young volunteers, which is.
We've got some great young volunteers.
That is really a nice thing that you've got the younger people, that got that vision to help.
We have
people
a
out.
couple of volunteers that literally were this tall
Yeah.
when they
Yeah.
started, and one of them is taller than me right
Yeah,
now,
wow.
and his
Yeah,
name is
he-
Nathan Binder.
He was a little kid.
And then we have another volunteer. Her name is Lily Biggs,
Yeah.
and she's gone from about here up to about here. So it's really amazing to see.
And you gave a plaque out to a volunteer. Did you?
Yeah,
Yes.
we
Appreciation.
try to recognize people that
People like to be recognized.
People like to
They really
do it,
do.
but,
They
Even
love
the
to-
simplest thing.
That's
they love
right.
It. Yeah.
You know, I remember my parents owned restaurants when I grew up, and we lived upstairs, and the restaurants were downstairs. And I remember my stepfather telling me that if anybody ever comes to the back door that's hungry, we will never turn them
You're
down.
not going to turn them down.
And that was
yeah.
the first time I had ever heard anything like that. And that stuck with me my whole life.
Yeah.
That my stepfather, who was a very good businessman, said that if anybody comes to our back door and is hungry, we feed them on the
That's
spot.
what.
I think that's why
That's fantastic.
I have the value system that I have today, and how lucky I am to be working with
With
Al.
this, with Al.
the same thing happened with my last stepdad. We lived 3.5 miles out on a dirt road alongside the Truckee River. And one Sunday we're sitting there sitting down to eat dinner. And we didn't have much food in the house. It
Yeah.
was well drilling, and it was winter time, and the well drilling business was not that good in the Reno area. And these folks come out, friends of my dad and mom, and we just didn't have much food. I said, "Pop, do you want me to run into town and get some more food?" He said, "No, son, we'll just cut it smaller." And that's, that was a real earmark of how things. A lot of folks have been doing this their whole life. That's not just myself or Rick. We've had people. I have a lady that started walking up to me on Sunday morning with a basket of corn muffins that she makes. I don't know where she lives. I've never seen her,
Yeah.
but she's been doing it for a couple months now.
She just.
She brings me a basket of corn muffins to take to the beach.
And people love these muffins. And I told her the last time that she was here, I said, people absolutely love your muffins. And she said, really? I said, they love your
She's
muffins.
so
And she got a tear in her eye. She
Yeah.
didn't really, she
Yeah.
never knew that she was being so appreciated. And
Yeah.
it was a great moment.
Now, how does someone? Let's say someone wants to volunteer and help out. What should?
It's like
Should they just
it's
go
like
down?
digging ditches or being a farmer. You show up.
Just show up at the windows
Yeah.
on the bay. And
Yes.
what about donations? Where does somebody donate?
Well,
I know you got a website.
We have a
right?
website called allenfriends.org, and we have a Facebook page,
Yes.
Allen Friends, and we have a P.O. box in town,
Okay.
P.O. Box 1022 1022, Pacific Grove 93950. Everybody in Pacific Grove is a 50.
So I want to know. I want the listeners to know that, if you can't figure out where to donate, get
The
a
police
hold.
department.
Get a hold of me at Buzzing with Cousin. I'll get a hold of Al
There
and
you
Rick.
go. There
And
you
you
go.
know,
We'll
the
make sure
police
that they
department
get
is a
that.
big supporter of Allen Friends. They call me 3 or 4 times a year to Sergeant Jeff Benton and say, hey, this guy needs this, or this person needs.
Yeah, well,
We need everything.
you're a public servant. You're a servant.
And they also
Yeah.
donate about $1,500 a year
Well,
towards shoes and Christmas
yeah.
and New Year's. They sponsor the New Year's breakfast every year.
I know you guys got to start, preparing for the Sunday, so I'm going to let you guys go. But I really want to, out of the bottom of my heart, appreciate what you guys do in the community, and that's something special.
For me,
Al and Rick, you guys are
for
some
me, this
special
is something I
people.
thought I'd start doing.
So we appreciate it.
Thank you,
But
Johnny.
it's
So,
grown to be an honor to have this position. I'm scared of the day that someone else takes it over.
So, gentlemen, thank you so much for buzzing with Cousin, and we will see you down at the windows by the bay.
Thank you,
Thank
Johnny.
you. Show up.
Thank you, Johnny.